Hey guys, Bill coming back at you again with another video. Today we're going to take a look at the autoflowers that are just early into flower, and I'll also tell you how you can enter to win one of two great prizes. Okay guys, so let's take a look at the autoflowers and see how they're making out. Okay, so here they are. Now, you might notice instead of 4 in here, I have 3. I took the older Skittles and I put it in the big tent for now, just to give these guys some room. Okay, so first off, we have on this side we have Skittles from ilovegrowingmarijuana.com. We have PK by Sonoma Seeds back here, and we have Early Miss from Crop King Seeds. They're now about 6 weeks from seed. The Skittles and the Early Miss, they're about a week into flower now. And the Purple Kush is about a week and a half. She's been stretching for a while now. Let's take a closer look at them. Okay, so this here is the Skittles, and she's doing really well. Now, she was super cropped right at the beginning, bent right over, did some LST on her and some defoliation, and that's pretty much where we stopped. Now, since the last video, all I've been doing is going through and just picking off a few leaves here and there, anything covering bud sites. And that's pretty much all I've done with this. So anyway, she looks pretty good. She's got a fairly flat canopy here, which is fine. There is some leaves down below here that I want to take off. And also some really small buds down there, like this one here, that aren't going to produce anything. So I will be going through and picking some of them out, cleaning her up and opening her up. Now, she's just starting to stretch now, but she's got a ways to go. All right, let's check out the PK, the Purple Kush. Now, this one's been stretching for over a week now, and she's getting some height to her. Overall, she looks pretty good. She's got some really nice, strong stems here. Now, that's a pretty good sign that the colas are going to be a decent size, too. When you have some like I'll show you the other Skittles that I have going in the other tent when we get to it, the branches aren't very strong, so chances are it's not going to get a lot of weight to them. Now, these are quite strong, straight, quite rigid, so these stems here can hold quite a bit of weight. So chances are they're going to be pretty decent sized colas in the end. Now, also down here we also got the same thing. We got to clean some of this stuff out and open her up, let that air movement down in there, let the light down in as far as we can. So I will be doing that this week also. Now we'll head over here to the Early Miss from Crop King Seeds. Now, I've grown this one before, like I mentioned, and actually the very first videos I believe that I put on YouTube a couple of years ago were just little snippets of my Early Miss. Anyway, she was huge, but the buds were very loose. Now, this one here, she's starting to stretch now, but she looks, I mean, that's very, very solid branches again. And she looks like she's stacked up really well there. And she's just starting her stretch. So now this one, we did not do any LST to this. All we did was selective defoliation. So she was really squat, very, very dense and bushy when she was smaller. So it was really hard to pull her down even if I wanted to. So all I did was, this is the very top here. What I did was I just kept pulling off. You can see here, I just kept pulling off the big leaves as they grew out. So if I was still doing it, I would take this one off, this one, and this one, and that slowed down the top somewhat and distributed the grow hormones to everything else. So everything else grew up. She's beautiful structure, lots of tops, no topping, no nothing else, just defoliation. So now when you plant your seeds, you might think to yourself, oh, I'm gonna plant these 6 different seeds. I'm going to LST them all, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to topper, I'm going to do that. But really, each plant can grow out differently, so you're better off just to wait, see what the structure's like when it's younger, and then go by that. Because I had planned on LSTing all of these and super cropping and stuff, but when it came to this one, I went with a different route, just the selective defoliation, and she's beautiful with no LST or anything. So each plant is different, and you kind of have to take that into consideration when you start your training. If it's tall and lanky, that's a good candidate to pull it down. Super crop, LST, whatever you need to do to flatten it out to get more buds. With something that's really short and bushy, well, maybe just selective defoliation, just something to open up the lower bud sites so that they'll have more energy to grow out and even out that canopy. Okay, before we do any training, I think I'm only going to train one here on the video, and it may be that PK in the back. That's going to be the easiest one, and it's the easiest one to get in there and show you guys what I'm doing also. Before I do that, I want to show you what I got going on here. I have 6 more seedlings that I just put in the ground yesterday, and there's a couple already popped up here. We got this little one, this little one, this one's starting to come up there. The other one should be up by tomorrow. So these I'm going to be using in the auto pot system. I'm going to run that baby again, and I'm going to figure this thing out. So what we have here is we have 3 Agent Orange from Sunwest Genetics. They're mostly sativa hybrid, and they're a cross of Orange Skunk, Space Queen, and Jack Cleaner. So that should be pretty interesting. THC, they say roughly around 20%. So that should be very interesting to watch. Down in the front here we have, and I've never heard of this before, but someone recommended it to me, so I got some, and they are Cafe Racer. Now these ones are from Blimberg Seeds. Now I got them through Rocket Seeds. I have a link in the description for them, and they carry the Blimberg seeds also, so I ordered through them. Now these sound really good. They're a cross between Granddaddy Purple and Girl Scout cookies. Now the THC they claim can be anywhere from 25% to 35%. So I mean, you kind of have to take those with a grain of salt too, where they get those numbers from, but chances are, if they're putting a claim on there of 35%, they're probably pretty decent plants. So I can't wait to grow them out. Mostly sativa also. So anyway, I'm going to try those in the auto pot system. So I'm just starting the babies out right now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab that purple kush in the back. I'm going to put it on my table in the tent, and we're going to just clean up the bottom just a little bit. So I'll put you guys on the tripod while I do that, and I'll try to bring you in close so that you can see what I'm taking out. Okay guys, so we have it set up here on the table, and I'm going to get right at it, and I'm going to clean out down underneath here. So I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer so we can actually see what's going on in there. Okay, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to strip off some of these leaves here. They're not going to get any light anyway. Okay, so now we can see right in here, this is where we super cropped it right from the start here, the big bend there. So let's see, this is one of the bottom shoots here. Now we could leave this one, but I really don't think that it's nowhere close to the same stage as this one, and it's very flimsy and floppy, so we're going to take that right off. Okay, all right, now we have this one here. We can see is really small and low down there, same as this one, so we're also going to cut them off. And then I think we'll even take off This here, see a little node growing there. We're going to pull that right off. And these little nodes here, we don't need energy going down there. So we're going to pull them off too. And we got some more leaves here. Okay. Now we have this one here. We're going to pull that off. And also this one. And even this one on the outside. Now I'm going to leave this leaf on here, but I'm going to take the branch itself off. Now this leaf it's still a nice healthy leaf. This plant doesn't have a ton of leaves, so it's still out in the open enough that it can still serve some purpose for photosynthesis, even down there. So we're going to leave that one. Now we have this can come off. Those can come off. Little bud site there, that can come off. As well as all these little ones here. And we'll take everything off here. We'll take off the leaves, plus the little bud sites, which if we leave them, they'll grow into branches, which will take energy, but never grow into anything substantial. Okay, so we got some more little ones here. Okay, let's come around this side. Now we got this one. It's kind of out. It's a nice branch. It's fairly strong, so we're going to leave that. But we are going to take off these bottom side branches that are starting to grow out there. And we'll just leave that to grow. Now it's not done stretching at all, so you know that'll get to be a decent size and that'll fill in, but it won't have to spend energy down here anymore. Okay. Now we'll take off these branches because they're just going to be in the way when I'm trying to water. We got this little shoot here. Take this off. Take this little one here off. Take this little one here off. There, so I think you get the idea of what we're doing here. Just taking off anything that's way too low on the canopy to actually do anything. And we have this little branch here. Again, we're going to snip that one off. And this one back here. That out of the way. And that's pretty much it. Okay guys, there she is. Now we've cleaned off about the bottom third there. Now the only thing we did leave in the bottom here is this one branch. Now I left this just because it's a sturdy branch. It's quite sturdy. So I'm going to let it go for a bit. We might come back in a couple of weeks when this is done its stretch. If it's still way down there, then we'll take it off at that point. But basically just pick and choose whatever you think has potential and what doesn't. So now I'm just going to look around here at the top here. This doesn't have a whole lot of leaves on it. Like, it's quite open anyway, so I don't really need to take off too many leaves. And some of them, like this here, we can just tuck that down. So there's nothing wrong with tucking leaves. Now if this was really, really bushy, then I would have just snapped them right out, not even thought twice about it. Like we got this one down here, It's partially hiding that, but we'll just tuck that down in there, and it'll be fine. So we're gonna stick that back into the tent. Okay, so there she is. Now she don't look too much different, but it is much cleaner down underneath there. A lot easier to get in there and water. Air movement can flow through there a lot easier. And we still got our really nice branches up top there. So, all right, I'm gonna do the same thing to these two here. I'll wait until after the video to do that. Just clean them out a little bit down below. These ones I may take out a little bit more leaves because, as you can see, they're quite bushy and there's lots of leaves there. So pulling out a dozen or two won't hurt that a bit. Same with this one. And then I got to get these guys watered. I'm a little behind in my watering today. So, and they're starting to show a little bit. You just see a little bit of droop in them, just starting. Okay, guys, let's take a look. This is the Skittles that's a week into flower here. Let's take a look at the other Skittles that was in this tent. Okay, guys, so there's the other Skittles. Now this one is like 4 weeks into flower, possibly even 5, and she is just a bush. Now I haven't taken out, I've been picking off a few leaves here and there, but she needs a really good cleaning out, a good haircut. So I am going to take that out again after this video. I don't want it to be too awful long and bore you to death, so I will wait till after the video. And I'm going to take a lot of these out. And I mean, there's this bud. This reminds me actually of the very first early mist that I grew, as far as the way it's growing. Just bud everywhere. It's not tight at all though, and I'm not sure. I have it growing under a Mars Hydro TSW 2000. A little bit more than what it needs actually, but this tent also has a photo period in it. So what I do is I leave it in here during the day, and at night when before the lights go off, I move it to just outside the tent, close the door up. I leave a TS 1000 up there, so I just plug that in for the night hours. So that's one thing with the autoflowers. People ask me why I like them. They're so versatile. You can grow them anywhere, and they really don't care. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing with that to make room for the other 3 in the smaller tent. Okay, so let's take a look at the photo period in this tent. The tent's pretty empty right now, but I do have the auto pots going to be setting back up here soon. So right here we have the Blue Dream from ilovegrowingmarijuana.com, and it is in the web grow. Now she is only a couple of weeks out, and she will be done. She looks beautiful. She's getting some of her autumn colors now. These buds are super tight, nice and frosty, lots of trichomes there. Smells great, and just about done. Now I did move her. I have her now under the Mars Hydro FC 4800. Covers her no problem whatsoever, with a little to spare. So anyway, she is being grown in the web grow. Now if you want to get a hold of a web grow, I have a link in the description. You can go down and check that out, follow the link, and it'll take you there. Also, in lieu of the fact that next week I should be hitting 50K subscribers, blows my mind. I thank each and every one of you. I will be giving away one of these web grows. Also, I've decided to do a second place winner. This is a big milestone, 50,000 subscribers. That's amazing. That just, I still can't even wrap my head around that. For the second place prize will be a brand new Mars Hydro TS 1000. So to enter into this contest, super easy. All you need to do is subscribe to this channel, like this video, and then down in the comments, just put what country you're from. So if you're in Canada like I am, put Canada or CA. If you're in the US, put US or United States or whatever. If you're from the UK, you can put United Kingdom or UK, and I'm pretty sure I'll figure it out. And then I'll use a random comment generator online and pick out one of the comments, and the first one will win the web grow, and the second place winner will win the TS1000. Super easy, and I hope you all participate in that. Be sure to enter your comment down below. What country are you from? And I have to get back to work. I'm in trim jail today. Now, that being said, so I'm trimming up some of the green crack now. Turned out really nice though, eh? You see the trichome sticking to my fingers a bit. Now I like to do this over the trim bin so I can catch any trichomes that fall off. So I've been using the Trim Daddy trimmer to trim with, and Trim Daddy messaged me the other day and said they want to give you guys, any of my viewers, 10% off the Trim Daddy. So I put a link in the description also for them. And if you, Christmas is coming up, it makes a great gift for either yourself, or if you know of somebody that maybe has some hand issues, maybe somebody with arthritis, and their hands get really cramped trying to trim up their weed or something. It's a great Christmas gift. Anyway, check that link out and use my code TrimWithBill, and you will save 10% off the Trim Daddy hand trimmer. Okay guys, so I got to get back at it. I want to get this trimmed up today so I can take the weekend off before we start having some lockdowns here again or something. Okay, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. You better this week, and we'll see you next week where we'll be announcing the 2 winners. Happy growing, guys.